Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. If this is your first time here, my name is Lance. I'm going to be your host of 20 Minute Trader TV. If you've been here before, welcome back. Glad to have you here again. We got a good, exciting episode today for you. Going to be tackling some live trading. Now, before we jump into it, just want to tell you a little bit about why I'm here, what I hope to do for all of you, and then we can get straight into it. So I'm here because Jeremy Russell, our founder, had asked me, being a 20-minute trader, to come on and really just show you guys, show the world how the system operates, how we trade on a day-to-day basis, just give you an inside over-the-shoulder look, if you will, into our charts and just, like I said, how we operate day to day. Now, if you've been seeing us on social media or you've just been hearing about 20-minute trader, you may be curious, it sounds great, but what really is 20-minute trader? Well, as a whole, we like to describe it simply as a trading movement, right? Where beginners slash non-traders are able to be traders in ways that they weren't quite able to before, right? So 20-minute trader does not require a lot of fancy software, big computer that you need, just a simple internet connection. Doesn't require a large technical strategy that takes hours and hours to learn. We're only on the charts for about 20 to 30 minutes a day. So again, you don't need to spend all day on the charts kind of scratching your head out. So that's why I joined as a 20-minute trader, and I hope that you would feel the same way as a beginner slash non-trader, or even if you've been trading for a while, right? Someone that may have gone through the tribulations of being a trader and they're just looking for something to add to the tool belt. Well, I'm glad you're here to kind of give you an inside look as to what we are doing here. So we're going to jump on the charts, do some live trading. Now this is week 2, or about halfway through week 2 of our 0 to payout challenge using a prop firm account. So we are starting from scratch, from absolutely zero, kind of showing you what I would be doing if I were starting from zero, and give you an insight as to what your experience could potentially be, along the way. See the ups, see the downs. Right now we are currently negative in our account, right? So to see me potentially pull that back into the profit and then getting to a payout would be an awesome journey, and I'm glad you guys are here for that. So let's jump into the charts without further ado. And if you guys have questions about anything I'm talking about, just drop the questions in the chat and I'll look through those as we get through the session. So we here, my charting platform, this is called TradingView, tradingview.com, kind of the household name for charting platforms out there. We are on a 1-second chart. Pretty crazy, right? But if you've ever traded before, just hold on, right? So we are looking at 1-second charts to see the price moves each and every second. The reason why is because we're looking for such precise movements in the market that if we were on a higher time frame, like a 1-minute or a 15-minute chart, we simply would have no idea that these moves are even happening. So we need to be in and out with precision, and 1-second charts allow us to do that. Now we are trading in the futures market, so we're not trading direct shares of stocks, excuse me. We're not trading Forex or crypto. We're simply trading the futures market. Now the cool thing about it is that it's open 23 hours a day, Monday through Friday. So if you want to trade in the morning, you can. If you want to trade at night, you totally can. Or now with me, that's totally cool. So it doesn't require you to trade directly in the morning, which is good for some people's schedules. Now, what we're actually trading here is going to be the value of the S&P 500 futures, or MES for any traders out there. Just a combination of the top 500 performing companies in the market that will be represented by our blue line here. Now, the other line we have on our chart is the orange line. That is going to be the Dow Jones. Just again, a combination, right? The average price of the value of the top 30, like blue chip stocks in the market. So again, just the big indexes that we're looking for. We're comparing them to one another. And then on the bottom, we have the RSI, very commonly accepted indicator in the trading world. All it's showing you is, are the movements in the market to the upside stronger or to the downside stronger? There's some more math behind it, but we'll keep it simple for that. With that being said, so the whole pattern, the whole premise, right, is the relationship between the blue and the orange lines. You see I have these trend lines here just showing the average movements of what they've been doing over the last couple of minutes. So all I'm looking for is them to be going in different directions, right? So that could look like what we're sort of seeing now, where the blue line is pushing up and the orange line is going flat. I want to see them kind of make a Pac-Man style shape. The best would be if they're making an X shape, right? To where if the blue line is going up, orange line is going down completely. that would be a nice indication of a potential trade. So we're always going to take a trade in the direction of the blue line. All right, so if the blue line here is pointing up and the orange line is down, that would mean I want to take a trade betting that price will continue higher. Right now, with our strategy, we can go long and short. We can do buys and sells, right? Just interchanging those words, which means that we can make money both ways. So it's not limited to, okay, if the market's going up, we can only take trades to go up. We can do both sides. So we're going to get into this here. You will see my account, my prop firm account is connected. See the balance here, $49,480, give or take. We'll get into how all of that works, right? But we're going to try and take some trades, really trying to stick to about 3 to 4 trades per day, risking about 100 to 200 per trade. And yeah, let's get into it. So what do we notice? We see the blue line pushing down, orange line staying flat. So in my mind, this means that the potential is stronger for the blue line to push down. All I'd be waiting for is a push up of the RSI, this white line, just a little flick up, to allow me to jump in for a short. So I got my little flick right there. I'm betting on price going down, right? So we notice that I have 2 lines on my chart here. One line is at the bottom, which would be considered my take profit. And then the line at the top would be considered my stop loss, since I'm betting on price going lower. So we're almost there, guys. We're very close to our TP. I'm going to just slide this up a little bit. Looks like we may have been looking for just a little bit too much. Maybe got a little greedy in the market there. So let's see if we pop on down. Can we get that final push? We're almost there. We're almost there. Let's stay patient. Just need a little bit more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trail my stop loss. So what that means is, worst case scenario, I will make 25 bucks on this trade. Right, so my stop loss went into the profit. So worst case, I make money. Best case, I make even more money. All right, so we're just hoping for it to continue down. I'm going to lock in some more profit. I'm going to lock in like 50 bucks, 100 bucks. We're pushing down, and there's TP hit. Just like that. So how is TP hit? Well, the TP was hit, take profit. When I say TP, sorry if that was confusing. Because the price got down, we were betting on price going down, and we made money, right? As soon as it hit that line, it automatically closed me out for a winning trade. Now, how did I know it was going to go down? I didn't at the end of the day, but I took my best guess because I was looking at the relationship between the blue and the orange lines. So I hope that made some sense. We were able to make 200 bucks there, give or take 175 in, what was that, a minute, 2 minutes? Not too bad if you ask me. What futures are we trading? Yeah, no worries. So we are trading the S&P 500 futures, or MES if you're a trader out there. The blue line is going to represent the MES or S&P, and the orange line is going to represent the Dow. Right? We're not actually buying and selling the Dow Jones. We're just using it as a comparison tool. So we've taken one trade. We'll see here the balance has increased. All right, we're back up a good amount to 658. We started at what, 480. So yeah, we made about 200 bucks, give or take, on that trade. So we're just going to look for the next setup, continue to take those trades where we see the difference in direction from those trend lines. That was quick. How do we set up to be that quick? Yeah, fantastic question. So definitely one of those things that takes practice, but outside of that, what I do and what many of our 20-minute traders do is we do what's called a preset take profit and stop loss. So you may have noticed that as soon as I click the button, those 2 lines were automatically put on my chart. So I, by no means, am quick enough to do it on my own, right? It would be kind of tough to do that. So we want to make sure that we have it preset, pre-made for us, so that as soon as we enter the trade, we already have those values defined. So that's exactly what I did, and that's what most of our traders do, so that we can be in and out without having to worry about where do I put my profit, how do I enter the order. You just simply hit the buy or sell button, and the rest is kind of handled for you. And thankfully, to many trading platforms out there, it's pretty accessible to do that. So, yeah. So we see a pretty large push up. So thankfully, we were able to get out in our short position there. So since we see such a large push up, not always, but sometimes, you kind of want to ride along with the momentum. So potentially, if we see the blue line push up like it's doing, and then the orange line kind of go down or stay flat, that would be a really, really good signal potentially for us to jump in for price to keep going up, right? So let's see if we can get the orange line to push down quite a bit. It's starting to go there ever so slowly. If we can just have it continue to drop, that would be very helpful. All right, so we see how they're starting to kind of open up. They're starting to make that difference in direction, but not fully yet. They're still relatively parallel. I really want to see the orange line pretty much go flat if we could. So we're getting close to that. All right, so now we see them going in different directions. That's exactly what we want to see. All we want to see now is just a little pop down in my RSI for me to bet on price continuing to go higher. All right, so I'm just waiting for that extra little confirmation for price to go just a little bit higher. So we notice at this point in time that price has, kind of missed my entry there. But the reason why I didn't take that there was because I saw the blue line kind of pushing down. Didn't really give me full confidence anymore in that setup specifically. But now we see a little more clearly. Blue line going flat, orange line going down. So I'm going to jump in for a long position, meaning that I want price to go higher. That's all I'm looking for. And price could easily just come on down, right? It's not always guaranteed to be a successful trade. There's no guarantees in trading. But if I hit this line down here where it says sell stop, that will close me out for a loss. I always want to make sure that we can try our best to have a stop loss because we never want to be hoping and holding because it could easily just keep on shooting lower, 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 and we just don't want that to happen. But we haven't quite lost yet. All right, we're still in the trade, not looking super great at the moment, but I have seen crazier things happen in the world. All right, so we're going to take our loss there, unfortunately, for about 200 bucks. All right, so one win, one loss. Remember, our trading plan is suitable for 3 to 4 trades, so about halfway there. See the account balance there. So over the last couple of days, we've had some wins, we've had some losses. We just haven't been able to really string together a couple of wins. So that's been kind of the missing piece to go on a little bit of a hot streak. We've just been kind of fluctuating win, loss, which is okay. You go through those times, but we want to make sure that hopefully we can turn that around, get a nice little winning streak over a couple of days. That'll help bring the account back into the green. Now you saw there my account balance, right, was 49,000. Now that was not my own capital, right? You may be thinking, well, I don't have $49,000 to put into account, and I totally get it, right? Neither do I. So before we just dive into that, we do see another trade setting up. We see the blue line flat, orange line down. So this indicates to me that most likely price wants to push higher. Right, we see the difference in direction. At this point, all I'm looking for is a little pop down of my white RSI for me to jump in. So we're just going to wait for that to happen. right? We see that how it's very different in direction. One's going down, one's going up. It's exactly what we're looking for. So I just need that last little bit of confirmation from my RSI. All right, so we're going to take the trade there. We are going to bet on price continuing higher, just like we did before. All I want to see is a big push up here, right? So my take profit is right up top. My stop loss is down below because I'm betting on price going higher after our entry. So right now, currently in the green, just wanted to spike up pretty intense here. I believe we can get there. So, whoa, big spike down. It's definitely not what we were hoping for there. We were wanting that in the other direction. But again, the trade's not over yet. The trade will be over if this blue line hits this horizontal red line here, which would be considered my stop loss. So we're still in the trade, right? We like to kind of let our trades play out. If it's a strong signal, probability is trying to be on our side. We want to let the trade play out if we can. Is it possible to get step-by-step training with TradingView? Yeah, so if you guys are interested in getting your chart set up, if you need help with that, or you just want some help, you want some questions answered on 20-Minute Trade or more in detail, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, just comment the word more. We're going to send you an absolutely free ticket to our web class. You can get your questions answered live. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, feel free to click the link in the description and claim that ticket there. So yes, we can definitely help with that. All right, so we took another loss there. Not our day today, it seems. So what we saw there was the lines kind of switch directions, right? We saw the blue line pushing down while the orange line was kind of coming up. So that just created the opposite effect of what we were looking for. And then we saw, kind of this push down here. So unfortunate there. Now about the prop firms, again, we'll kind of go into that. So the $49,000, whatever I have in capital, is not my own capital, right? Prop firms are essentially companies that will allow access to large amounts of capital for a very small investment of your own personal capital, right? So this specific account with this specific company, Apex Trader Funding, I go to Apex Trader Funding and I say, hey, I'd like the chance to trade with $50,000. Well, they don't simply just give it to me because I asked for it. First, you need to pay about 35 bucks is what I paid for the account. Pretty crazy, or only 35 bucks to get access to 50K potentially. From there, you then go into what's called the evaluation stage. This is where they want to see that you know what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing, that you can trade consistently. Now the goal is to start at 50,000 to get it up to 53,000. If you can do that successfully, they will then understand that you know what you're doing, and they will then only then give you access to the full capital, right? So all of that 3,000 initially is not accessible. It's not penny profit you can withdraw, unfortunately. But if you do hit that target, then anything you make from there can be withdrawn. All right. Now the drawback, not the drawback, the worst case scenario, if you lose the account, let's say you start at 50, if you ever get to 48,000, they will then cut you off and say, okay, you've lost a little bit too much. We're going to cut you off. And when I say cut you off, you're not on the hook for any of that funds that you lost. They don't blacklist you. You can easily just simply buy another account and try again. So the worst case scenario is you lose your 35 bucks. Best case scenario is you pass the account, you have access to $50,000 in trading capital. So really cool. Great way to scale, great way to leverage If you're someone that doesn't have a ton of capital to start, like most people, or like I did when I started, then prop firms are a really amazing way to kind of break into the markets. There's many prop firms out there, right? I like Apex Trader Funding. Many of our students use Apex Trader Funding. The cool thing with them is that you can have up to 20 prop firm accounts at the same time, which would be a form of copy trading. All that means is that any trade I take would be copied in the background across all of my other accounts at the exact same time. So let's say I had 10 prop firm accounts and I made $100 on one trade. That would really copy times 10 to make $1,000. Now, of course, your losses could be the same as well, so that's something to keep in mind. You do have to pay for all those accounts, right? So $30 times 10, it's not a crazy, insane investment, but it definitely is an investment to be thought about. But that's something that you do over time, but the potential is there, right? So with 20 accounts, you could have $1 million in prop firm capital. It's really cool, really exciting to say to your friends you have $1 million in capital that you're trading with and managing. So something you can all set goals for. But right now we just have one account, trying to get this account passed in front of you guys here. Just having tough time the last couple of days with all the news, with things overseas. Just been a very choppy market. But we've had some wins, we've had some losses. Just haven't been able to string together the wins, which is fine. So we're looking for one more trade here for the day. See if there's any questions here. What is the difference between MES and ES? Yeah, so MES is simply just the smaller leverage instrument, right? So if you were someone that didn't want to risk a ton of money per trade, you might go to the micros, right, which is what MES stands for. So where you're not trading with such large size. If you wanted to do the ES, that would be a little bit larger in terms of how much the movements are worth in dollars. So think of it as just a smaller version of the ES. All right, so right now the lines are pretty parallel, not much to take a trade on, of course. Again, since we're really just pushing up pretty heavy, it's hard to say though. We've kind of been going up and down. Hasn't been a real trend that's been established. All right, so we notice the orange line is going up, blue line is relatively flat. Now they're relatively parallel, so now we're just gonna have to hold off. But I was looking for a potential long or short entry rather. But let's see, right? Orange line is coming down. What we would need to see is the blue line stay flat or push up. Do you have any specific settings for RSI? No, not necessarily. Just standard stuff. The RSI would be referring to the MES futures since that's what we're actively trading, right? So it would reflect whatever you're looking at on the chart. So for us, we're looking at S&P. We're not looking at gold futures currently. With 20-minute trading, right, we really don't want to overcomplicate things. We like to keep a very simplistic approach. So we typically trade the same one or two things each and every day. We do not, screen all of the stock tickers looking for which one should I be trading today. It just causes a lot of extra confusion, at least from my experience of doing that. All right, so we're starting to see a slight difference in direction. Blue line down, orange line up. So in my mind, price wants to continue lower. So I'm going to keep my finger on the trigger here. I'm going to jump in there, a little pop-up of the RSI. Just simply betting on price moving a little bit lower. Just going to adjust these. And yeah, right, last trade of the day. If this blue line here would so kindly move to this bottom blue line, that would be our take profit. And if it goes up here, that will be our stop loss. And we will consider today just an unfortunate losing day. So let's see if we pop on down. See, we're in profit here. We're up 75, we're up 100. We need to just go that final push down, right? That's all we're looking for. If we get a little bit closer, I might trail my stop loss, right? Like we did before. So that worst case scenario, I still make money. Best case, I make the full profit. So I just want to see it drop just a little bit more here before we do that. So we still see the relationship, right? We see the blue line going down, orange line pushing up. So in my mind, price still wants to go lower. Just hasn't quite made that last final statement for us yet. All right, so we're almost there, about halfway, guys. Can we get it? And if you like the style of trading that you're seeing and you think that these trades might be something you could do, feel free to comment the word more. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, get your absolutely free ticket to our upcoming web class. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, just click the link in the description and claim your ticket there. We're so close, guys. Come on, we're so close. We just needed to hit this blue line. We just need one little push. Are we going to get it? Now, at this point in time, right, it's totally fine. If you see 125 bucks and you're in a trade and you want to take 125 bucks and go buy yourself something nice, by all means, you can do that. Right? For me right now, I just want to see the trade kind of hit that final spike down, and I think we can get it there. So let's all just hope we can get there. We still see a perfect relationship. Blue line down, orange line coming up. We really just want to see that final spike down. All right, there we go. I'm going to trail, lock in 175 bucks, and we're out there for 14. All right, so that's exactly what I was looking for. It's just that final push down. We finally got it. And yeah, trailed the stop loss. So that worst case scenario, I make 175. Best case, I make 200. Not a bad trade-off if you ask me. And then it hit the final thing there at the bottom. So more of a break-even type of day, right? Potentially slightly red with some fees and whatnot, all that fun stuff. But 2 wins, 2 losses. So I hope this was kind of helpful for you guys to see just how the relationship of the blue and the orange line could, affect the market in different ways, and just kind of how we operate, only trading for 20 to 30 minutes a day. So in this session, it's been about 25 minutes, taking our max amount of trades. So being a 20-minute trader, try to stay disciplined and just kind of walk away from the charts. I'm going to see if anyone has any questions here. All right, I see some people commenting more. Awesome, awesome. Can't wait to see you there at the web class. All right, so on the account, 49,300. So yeah, slightly red for the day. Really trying. Our goal is to get this up to 51,000 by the end of the week. Might be a little tough to get there unless we take a ton of wins tomorrow and Friday. But hey, anything is possible. All right, I'm still hoping that in the next couple of weeks we can pass the account and then move on to getting a payout. Would be great. So tomorrow, we're going to continue live trading. I think it's going to be important to kind of speak about, the mindset of being in the red, right? So I definitely want to go over that tomorrow, right? If you're someone that is trading and you feel like you're at a low point in your trading journey, or you're just getting started, you want to know, how do I make it through those low times? How do I avoid them potentially? And what's the best way to navigate a time where I maybe break even? I just can't seem to get over the hump. I think that's going to be super important. We should definitely cover that tomorrow. Does TraderView generate tax-related forms? So I can't answer any tax questions on this call. You definitely have to speak with your professional there. But TradingView is not necessarily a broker of any sort, right? So it's just showing you the charts. But again, any tax-related questions that you need, please speak to your professional there. So yeah. You guys still use the widget of the Dow Jones, the green and the red. So not on the strategy here, right? We're just using the Dow Jones with this trendline indicator. You may be referring to the U-shaped pattern, which is a little bit different, right? Different concept altogether, but yeah, not on this system here. If I had the money for the gold pattern package, you need a credit card for recurrent fees. Yes, I would say probably a best thing would be just attend the web class. I would say let's just get on there, answer some of those questions for you that you might have all the intricacies about signing up for the program, payment plans, and all that stuff. So let's get you on that web class. Comment the word more. I will send you a free ticket there. What time for tomorrow? Yeah, same time, 1 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be here for the foreseeable future every day at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Of course, we'll keep you guys posted if the time ever does change. But yeah, tomorrow, 1 o'clock. But just show you a final example here. Blue line pushing up, orange line pushing down. RSI popped down a little bit. So I would right now be betting on price to push higher. That's what I would be betting on if I were a trading man in the market. Right now, I'm currently done for the day. All right, but that's all I would want to see is price just push higher based on the relationship here. Now, as price is slowly moving up, as it is, you can secure some profits along the way, right? You can trail your stop loss like we were doing before, whatever you want to do. But as we see, price is kind of respecting that idea. And all you'd be looking for is just kind of that final push up, just that exclamation point on the trade. Yeah, the morning stream, is at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Yep, you got the one class. Okay, cool. Good. All right, very good. I'm not seeing a ton of other questions here, so I think we can. Yeah, so we have 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. and they do have the evening session as well with Gino. Feel free to cop in with that. All right, very good. So, like I said, I hope this was a little insightful for you guys to see how we operate, just kind of the trades that we take. And like I said, you can trade at any time of the day. So if you kind of had the idea of the strategy in your mind, you kind of remember what I was talking about, feel free to try it out for yourself maybe, on your charts, or just kind of observe what it might look like and see, okay, is price doing this over and over again at different times in the day? All right, again, if you're interested in seeing a little bit more how this works entirely, um, and just getting help with your charts and just being a 20-minute trader, comment the word more, get your free ticket to the web class, get your questions answered live, and we will be here same time tomorrow. Appreciate you guys for stopping by, and yeah, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.